Hello everyone and welcome to Coding Cart. So in this session we'll try to understand one HackerRank problem. So you can see here the problem name is minimum loss. So let me first explain you this problem in a simple way what they are saying. So here we will be given an array of size n, for example n equal to 5, and this is my price array. And values are suppose 20, 15, 8, 2 and 12. So here n equal to 5 means 5 years. So this is the price of a given house for the 5 years. Suppose this is first year, second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year price. So in the problem statement they are saying that we can buy the house in any one of the year. So for example, suppose I am buying in second year at rupees 15. Now we have to resell the house in any one of the upcoming year in such a way that we have to resell in a loss. Resell in a loss. This is the constraint. So for example, let us move from the first. So let us start with this. Suppose I am purchasing this house in first year at rupees 20. Now let us resell this in the next year. Suppose I am reselling in second year. Here my loss is of 5 rupees. If I am reselling this house in third year, here my loss is of 12 rupees. If I am reselling this in fourth year, here my loss is of 18 rupees. If I am reselling in fifth year, here my loss is of 8 rupees. So you can see here we got the minimum loss if I am buying this in first year in rupees 20 and reselling in second year for rupees 15. Here my loss is of rupees 5 for this. Now let us, for example, let us delete this one. Suppose I am buying this house in second year. I am buying this house in second year at rupees 15. Let me sell in the next year. If I am selling in next year, here my loss is of rupees 7. Let me resell in the another next year, then here my loss is of rupees 13. Now let me resell in another next year, then my loss is here of rupees 3. So you can see here if I am buying that house in second year and reselling in the last year, means if I am buying the house in second year at rupees 15 and selling in the last year at rupees 12, then my loss is minimum, which is 3. Now let us move for the third year, price at third year. Here price is rupees 8. So let us resell for the next year. If I am reselling in the next year, here my loss is of rupees 6. Now let us resell in another next year. So if you see here my purchase price is 8 and my reselling price is 12, but they are saying that we have to resell in a loss. So reselling price is greater, so this condition is not possible. So for the price value in third year is rupees 8, and if I am reselling in the next year at rupees 2, then my loss is here of rupees 6. Now again, if I am purchasing that house in fourth year at rupees 2 and reselling at rupees 12, which is greater, which is not possible. So this case is not possible. So out of this all scenario, here my minimum value is, minimum loss is, if I am purchasing at rupees 15 and reselling at rupees 12, then I will get the minimum loss of rupees 3. So we have to return this minimum loss. Out of all the minimum possible loss, we have to return the minimum one. So this is the problem here. You have to return the minimum. So we have to complete this function minimum loss. So they are giving us the price array. So let us take one more example here. Suppose I am taking this one, this example. Again we have n equal to 5 and our price values are 20, 7, 8, 2 and 5. Now let us start from the very first price. Suppose I am buying this house in rupees 20. Now let us resell in the next year. While reselling in the next year, here my loss is rupees 13. And reselling in the another next year, then my loss is rupees 12. In another next year, then my loss is rupees 18. And for another next year, my loss is 15. So your minimum loss is, you can see here, of rupees 12. So when I am purchasing at rupees 20 and reselling at rupees 8, then my minimum loss is 12 rupees. Now let us purchase at rupees 7. Let us purchase at rupees 7, and when we are going to resell, so you can see here purchase value is rupees 7 and the next year reselling value is rupees 8, which is greater. Reselling value is greater means which is not possible, means we have to resell in a loss. So this case is not possible. This case is not possible. So we'll move forward. Now here my loss is of 5 rupees. Now let us move forward. For this scenario, my loss is 2 rupees. So whenever I am buying at rupees 7 and reselling at rupees 5, here my loss is rupees 2. Here my loss was 12. Now this case is done. Now let us suppose we are buying at rupees 8. When you buy at rupees 8, so you can see here my loss is rupees 6 and here my loss is of rupees 3. So minimum loss is 3. So when we are buying at rupees 8 and reselling at rupees 5, my loss is minimum 3. Now, and for this case, here my purchase value is 2 and reselling value is 5, which is again greater. So this is not possible. So out of these minimums, my minimum value is rupees 2. When we are buying at rupees 7 and reselling at rupees 5, we are getting the minimum as 2. So we have to return 2 as our answer. So you can see here, whenever we are buying at rupees 7 and selling at rupees 5, we are getting the minimum loss of 2. So they are returning 2 as our answer. So here the approach is quite simple. So here the approach is, while seeing the previous example, the very first approach which will come in our mind is using two for loop. So you can see here the price array was rupees 20, 15, 8, 2 and 12. So what we will do here, we will use one for loop for taking the value. Suppose this is first for loop for taking the value, and for this value we will calculate the minimum in all these remaining list. So we will again apply another for loop for j, and we will write here condition, means if my current purchase value is greater than the reselling value, then only we will move forward and we will update our minimum each time. So for this it will iterate in the rest of the element. Again for this value it will iterate for this value, again for this it will iterate in these two elements, and so on. So you can see here this logic will work, but for few test cases it will work, and after few test cases it will simply give TLE. You can see here it's a time taking process, means for each element we are checking with all of the rest remaining elements. So it's simply a time taking process here. So we will apply another logic here. Let me explain you here. You can try this to inner for loop yourself and see the output. So what we will do here, this is my price array. We will simply sort this price array. Suppose this is my sorted array. 2, 8, 12, 15 and 20. Now what we will do here, so in this sorted array we will take the difference of the adjacent elements, in which I will treat this next element as my purchasing price and this one as my reselling price. Now we will take the difference purchasing price minus reselling price. So 8 minus 2, which is 6. Now we will check whether this value 6 is my valid or not. Valid or not means my reselling price should always come after purchasing price. Means these are the year wise value. So suppose I am purchasing in second year, then my reselling value should always come after the purchasing price. So for example, you can see here my purchasing price is rupees 8. So let me take this index wise 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Suppose this is my purchasing price. If this is my purchasing price, then my reselling price should always come after this. If this is my purchasing price, then reselling price should always come after this index. It means if we are purchasing any flat in 2020, then we can resell that after 2020 only. Means we can resell in 2021 or 2022 or 2030 something. We cannot resell in 2016 or 2017. So same scenario here. If this is my purchasing price, then my reselling price should always come after this. These are my year wise pricing. So this is my purchasing price year. So let us treat this index as my year. Then reselling price year should always come after the purchasing price year. So reselling price is here. This is my reselling price. So you can see here reselling price is always ahead of purchasing price. So this value is my valid minimum. So we will keep this in a minimum. So we'll update this minimum by taking this value. We'll update our minimum here by applying the logic. Suppose this is my x. We'll check whether this m is less than this x, then we'll update our minimum. Then minimum equal to x will, and minimum is simply initially assigned with a very high value. Now let us move forward. We are done with this value. Now let us move forward for these two adjacent element. So this will be my purchasing price and this will be my reselling price. Purchasing price and this is my reselling price. Now this was my valid and minimum is 6. Current minimum is 6. Now if you see here the difference is how much? 4. Now let us check the index in my original price array. So here the index for my purchasing price is 4. Means I am purchasing this house in suppose 2020 for example, and here reselling price is 8 and its index is 2. This is my reselling price. It means we are purchasing any house in 2020 and we are reselling in 2016, which is not possible. So this case is not possible. Means our reselling price should always be ahead of purchasing price, current purchasing price. So this is not possible, means this is not a valid minimum. So we will move forward. So let us see here. This will be my purchasing price and this will be my reselling price. Now here the minimum is 3. Now we will check in the original array index for these two values. So 15 is here. This is my purchasing price index here and reselling is 12. So this is 12. This is my reselling price. So you can say reselling price is always ahead of purchasing price, means reselling price here is always ahead of purchasing price. So this is my valid minimum. Now previous minimum was 6, now this current minimum is less than the previous one, so minimum will be updated with 3. So we are done here. Let us move forward for this one. So here the minimum is 5. Now let us check whether this minimum is valid or not. So this is my purchasing price and this is my reselling price. So the purchasing price is 20. So this is my purchasing price and my reselling price is 15. This is my reselling price. So you can see here reselling price is ahead of purchasing price. So this is a valid. This is valid. So this is valid minimum, but the minimum present is already minimum than this value. So minimum won't be updated. So we are done with the value. So we'll simply return this as our minimum 3. So this logic will work. So let us write this logic here. So let me zoom this one. So the very first thing, we will simply sort this price array. Let us sort this price array. So sorted array equal to sorted price. Now we will take one minimum value m and initialize with some high value, suppose 999. Now we will iterate in this sorted array. So for I in range of, both are of same length, sorted array or this price array, we can take any one of them, length of SA minus 1. Now why length minus 1? Means each time we are moving forward, means each time we are taking the adjacent value, means if I am here, then I will check the value I and I plus 1, value at I and I plus 1. Now so we will take the difference in variable x equal to SA of sorted array of I plus 1 minus SA of I. So this is my purchase price and this is my resale price, means this is my I plus 1, this is my purchase price and this is I, and this is my resale price. Now what we will do, we will check if this current x, means the difference is less than m. If it is less than m, then I have to check whether this is valid or not. This difference value is valid or not by checking the index in my original price array. So here we will check and price array, in price array dot index for price array dot index of SA of I. SA of I means SA of I is here resale value. So here resale value is greater than, index for the resale value should always be greater than price dot index of SA of I plus 1. So this is the case, means the index for here in original array I am checking whether the index for this resale value is greater than the index for the purchase price. If this condition is okay, means the minimum here is valid one. So if it is the case, we will simply update our minimum, m equal to x, means x is less than m, and also the resale price index is always greater than the purchase price index. So this is correct. Then we will simply update our minimum, otherwise it will iterate in the loop for the next adjacent element, and at last we will return the minimum. So this is the problem here, means each time we are checking the difference value, each time we are taking the difference value. This was my purchase price and this was my resale price. We are taking the difference in variable x and we are checking whether this x is less than m or not. If it is less, then I am also checking whether the resale price means the index for this resale price in the original price array is always greater than the purchase price. Means simply means if you are purchasing any house in 2020, then we have to resell in year after 2020, means either in 2021 or 2021. So simply that 2021 or 2021 will be present, means that price index would always be after the current purchasing price. So that's why we are checking the index of the purchasing, means index of the resale price should always be greater than the index for the purchasing price. That's why we have checked in the price array, that is the index of the reselling price should always be greater than the index of the purchasing price. If this is satisfying the condition, then we are simply updating our minimum, and at last we are returning the minimum value. So let us run this code. So you can see here it is working fine. Let us submit this code. So you can see here we are done with all the hidden test cases. So congratulations, we are done. So this was the problem here, means initially we will simply sort the price array and we are checking with the adjacent elements and applying this logic, means we are simply checking the index for the resale price, which should always be greater than the index of the purchasing price. So if you like this video, please do give thumbs up and subscribe to our channel Coding Cart, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.